After going through the last video, you should have a full picture of PhoneGap and PhoneGap applications. Now we're going to install PhoneGap and start using it. This section will state where to download PhoneGap, how to create a PhoneGap project, the PhoneGap project structure, and the commands. PhoneGap is installed through npm, which is a Node.js package manager. This means that we need to install Node.js and npm first. We will introduce Node.js and npm soon in the upcoming videos. For now, we keep it simple. To install Node.js and npm, open your browser, go to nodejs.org, and then click the Install button. The installation procedure is very straightforward and will install both Node.js and npm. After Node.js has been installed, open a terminal and run the command node-v. If Node.js has been installed successfully, you will see the version of your Node.js package. PhoneGap requires Node.js with a version higher than 0.9.9. Then we need to install PhoneGap or Cordova. You can find detailed installation documentation at phonegap.com/install. In the terminal, run the command sudo npm install-g Cordova. This will install the latest PhoneGap distribution on your machine. Once the installation is finished, we need to check if our system meets the minimum requirement for different mobile platforms. For example, Xcode for iOS, Android SDK for Android, and so on. You can find the steps to set up your environment on the PhoneGap platform guide page. The next video will cover it for iOS and Android. Now we are going to create a PhoneGap project. Open a terminal, create a project folder, and go into the folder. The command Cordova create will take three parameters: your project folder path, your project package name, and your application name. The folder path is the location of the folder we created, which is the current folder. The package name is assumed to be com.helloworld, and the application name is Hello World. Now you have created a PhoneGap project and it's ready to be deployed on mobile platforms. I will show you how to deploy it to iOS and Android later. We will develop a Hello World app on the iOS platform first to give a demonstration of PhoneGap app development. We will need the following to go through the demo: a Mac running macOS 10.7 or above, Xcode with version 4.5 or above, and the Xcode command line tool. Basically, if you've gone through the platform guide of PhoneGap for iOS and followed it, you're ready to go. Before we go diving into any exciting app development, let's take a look at the project folder generated by PhoneGap. The www folder is where our HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other web page related assets files are located for the app. We will spend most of our development time in that folder. The platforms folder is where our native application is generated and stored by PhoneGap per platform. It's empty, and we will add iOS and Android soon. The merges folder is where we specify the assets that are to be deployed on specific platforms. Each platform-specific subdirectory within the merges folder mirrors the directory structure of the www source tree. Whilst the app is compiled, the assets in the www folder will be copied to the native application and replace the existing one copied from the www folder in the top-level folder. The plugins folder is where the PhoneGap plugins used for this project are stored. The added plugins will be automatically compiled to the native application per platform. Now we can create an iOS project. We must first navigate to our PhoneGap folder. Open the terminal app and change the directory to your PhoneGap folder /lib/ios/bin. In this folder, you will be able to see a file called create, which will be used to initialize your iOS projects. It will take three parameters. The first parameter indicates the path to your PhoneGap iOS project. The second parameter is your package name, and the third parameter is the project name. Here, we create a Hello World project. The PhoneGap platform has a series of commands that help our development. In the terminal, type Cordova --help, and you will see a list of commands. Here are some useful commands. The Cordova create command, which we've used before, creates the basic structure of a project. The Cordova platform add remove commands are used for adding or removing mobile platforms. The Cordova plugin add remove commands are used to add or remove a PhoneGap plugin. The Cordova prepare command. This copies web files and plugins to native applications. The Cordova build, emulate, and run commands build and run applications on a device or simulator. the Cordova serve command. This creates a web server on the www folder for the purposes of development. We will use these commands in the upcoming videos. In this video, we installed PhoneGap and created our first PhoneGap application. Then, we introduced the structure of a PhoneGap project and basic PhoneGap commands. You should be able to create your PhoneGap application now. In the next video, we will develop our Hello World application and run it on the iOS and Android platforms.